Believe it or not, Dubai appears to have supercars just lying around abandoned for anyone that wants them. Keep watching to find out exactly what's going on. Everyone knows that there's shed loads of cash in Dubai, but bizarrely, it's got to the state where it's not an uncommon sight to see supercars, like limited edition Ferrari Enzos, just lying around abandoned on the streets. The last Ferrari Enzo to sell at auction went for over $6 million. Let's hope the guy who left it hasn't just lost his keys. Lamborghini's worth $200,000. Porsche's worth $100,000. Bentley's worth $165,000, and even Honda NXX's worth $350,000 are also regularly seen just lying around airports and car parks, left to decay and clog up the freeways across the United Arab Emirates. This happens year after year. It says something about Dubai itself that while regular cities have to face problems like unemployment, crime, and overcrowding at airports, Dubai has to tackle the problem of a surplus of luxury cars. As crazy as it seems, it's become something of an epidemic that has made international headlines across the world. And we know what you're thinking. How can this be a real problem? Well, according to reports, 2,000 to 3,000 cars are abandoned in Dubai every year. 2,000 to 3,000. That's more cars than it takes to make a Fast and Furious movie. And they're simply discarded and left by their owners to gather dust and burn up under the scorching desert sun, which is a big problem. Money flows freely in Dubai, and the good life is cautiously encouraged. It's what the city's known for, and as a result, over 90% of Dubai's residents are foreign-born expats attracted by the perceived modern-day gold rush. But unfortunately for them, they still have to follow the local laws of Dubai, which is where the problems tend to start. Photos of Dubai's abandoned cars belonging to expats get dropped on the regular across social media. And anyone living in the real world would understandably find it weird that people have just left their supercars to waste away. Pictures doing the rounds include this one of a $1 million Ferrari Enzo, one of only 399 in the world, that eventually found itself the centerpiece of the most expensive police auction in history, after it was found abandoned in a Dubai car park. Here's the thing though, even the hyper-wealthy citizens of Dubai aren't so rich that they can just sling costly cars when they're bored and just get another one. The real reason why these luxury cars end up abandoned is due to Dubai's struggle to keep up with the effects of the global financial crisis and booming oil prices. Energy prices globally are looking at a 50% price hike this year alone. Many expats travel to Dubai in the hopes of finding a high-flying job and living the good life. Once they begin to earn, they end up buying a lot of stuff, luxury cars being top of the shopping list. The expats take loans to buy these supercars, as loans are easily available but often end up in toxic debt, unable to return the loans due to high turnover rates in many jobs in Dubai. As a result, expats often decide that fleeing the country is a better option than staying and risking jail time in a foreign country. They're forced to abandon their lives and their cars, sometimes with the key still in the ignition. They flee for the safe harbour of their home nation. There are other options available, we're sure, but fleeing seems to be a pretty popular one. This is not the case with just the expats. Even locals too, sucked in by Dubai's richer than rich attitude, end up leaving their cars behind and setting out on the run. If you're anything like us, you're probably thinking about hopping on a plane for Dubai with a locksmith in tow about now. So what happens to the cars next? The vehicles are impounded by Dubai municipality right after they are identified as abandoned. The vehicle owners also receive a notice period of 15 days for claiming their car. Later on, the car gets seized and the owner has 6 months to claim the car after clearing all the formalities. However, if no one claims in 6 months, these cars are sold in Dubai car auctions, and from what we hear, there are bargains to be had. Licensed car dealers often buy the abandoned cars from the auction and later sell them to interested buyers. In the last 5 to 6 years alone, abandoned luxury cars have included Ferraris and pricey BMWs, as their owners flee bankruptcy brought on by the financial crisis. In some cases, due to loan defaults, the cars strictly speaking belong to the bank and can't be sold, so unbelievably, they usually end up as cruisers for the police. Here's our hit list of the sickest police cruisers to try and spot next time you're in Dubai. Described by some as the jewel in the crown of the Dubai police stable, their Bugatti Veyron supercar was designed in Germany but made in France. It has an eye-watering top speed of 407 km per hour. Try outrunning that, making it by far the fastest vehicle in the fleet. It was even named Car of the Decade by BBC driving programme Top Gear. This beaut of a supercar is also one of the most valuable on the force, valued at around $2 million. Everyone loves a G-Wagon, and the Dubai Police Force's Mercedes-Benz G63 has become a familiar sight on the streets of Dubai. The 4-litre V8 mean machine looks ready for action both on and off the road, and despite its $200,000 price tag, is one of the most desirable sports utility vehicles on the market. If we were cops, we'd be cruising in this bad boy. Another design classic, this Aston Martin 177 limited edition model is at the higher end of the Dubai Police Force budget. Just a reminder, these are police cars. This British-made car and favourite of 007 is certain to become a modern-day classic, as just 77 have been produced. Aston Martin created a special factory staffed by 27 of the firm's finest engineers to produce the exclusive 177. The 7.3-litre V12 supercar will set you back a cool $1.8 million. Imagine being in a police chase in one. Named after a Spanish fighting bull, the Lamborghini Aventador was initially limited to just 4,000 vehicles and has 730 to 770 horsepower. No wonder the Dubai police were quick to snap one up. Each of the 8 carbon fibre moulds used to create the sleek bodywork was limited to just 500 units each. Coupe models sell for north of $400,000. I feel we need to keep stipulating that these are cop cars, not the lineup at Daytona. So great, you're thinking. Here I was hoping to get a free Maserati, and the cops have already beaten me to it. I'm waiting at the bus stop, and these guys are cruising past me looking super fly in a fleet of my favourite cars. Fear not. Online, there are still auctions available, and if you search hard enough, there are sure to be good deals available. Like we said, they've got thousands of these cars they're trying to offload, and the cops can't take them all. They just take the cream of the crop to be safe in the knowledge that no one's going to outrun them in a Prius. One word to the wise though, some of the cars have been ridden till the wheels fell off, as they say. As you might expect, if you were planning on dumping your car and making a dash for the border, you wouldn't exactly be servicing it regularly and oiling the leather seats. Damage can range from just a bent or twisted fender and some scratched paintwork, all the way up to flood damage, if you decide to park it in a nearby lake, and cars being completely totaled. We're no car dealer, but we would recommend doing some serious independent research before taking the plunge and buying one of these abandoned cars covered in sand and dust. Especially if you're not too handy under the bonnet yourself. Hey, we never said this was going to be easy. But if at the end of the day, you're driving around in the reduced-priced supercar of your dreams, the hard work might just be worth it. A term that is often used at these kind of auctions is storied history, when describing a car, which we think translates as, who knows what this car has been up to? And you have no comeback if this thing falls apart after you've driven out the loading bay. We're not giving any advice, but I think there's something to be said about buying from a dealer, or at least a second-hand seller who you can meet and kick the tyres with, and maybe call up for some advice if things go south. There's hardly anyone who doesn't dream of having their favourite supercar to drive. Just make sure you have your finances straight first, else you might end up seeing the local cops cruising in it.